Peace, family. Peace. Family, come on in. It's been a while since I've gone live. Come on in. Let's have a talk. Some very interesting things have gone down. Sorry about that. Yeah, some very interesting things have gone down, fam. Some very, very, very interesting things have gone down. How you doing? Let me just say hi to the family. Ultra Funky, what's good? Robbie Tomlinson, Prison Life, Empress Divine, St. John Coltrane, Vincent Bradley, Tim Melbourne, Jerome Lockhart, Maurice Blockhurst, Shaka G. Can't say hello to everyone, but yeah, hi fam. So I guess in the last 24 hours, there has been a terrorist attack in New Zealand, right? At a mosque by a white supremacist. And this is just my take. First of all, I hope you've all been tuning into the Black Opinion. First of all, I hope you've been tuning into the Black Opinion, and I hope you've been liking, sharing, and subscribing with the rest of your friends, letting people know about the Black Opinion. It's caused a little bit of a stir. Some people like it, some people don't, but that's just how it goes. I hope you like Big Bro's Brexit Breakdown. Listen, we've done 3 episodes now. I hope you guys have liked it. Yeah, like, share, subscribed, all that kind of stuff. Say it as I am. He's a lefty. You know what? Say it as I am. He's actually not a lefty. And we're going to go into that. But yeah, what I would advise people to do is actually go onto the internet. If you actually want to know about this guy, this terrorist that killed people in the mosque in New Zealand, if you want to know about this guy, I suggest you go and read his manifesto. You can find his manifesto by Googling. See, the thing is, I've tried to drop the link for the manifesto on so many social medias and it won't allow me to do it. So what you should do is just go on Google and type in Manifesto of New Zealand Terrorist PDF, and it will come up on documentcloud.org. Okay, and on documentcloud.org, you will see his manifesto. And when you read his manifesto, you will kind of get into the mind of this individual, okay? By definition of his manifesto, he is a supremacist, by definition. If I actually read, I'm actually going to read you some of his manifesto, and it says, this is like page 3, and it says, the birth rates, it's the birth rates, it's the birth rates. If there's one thing I want you to remember from these writings, is that the birth rates must change. Even if we are to deport all non-Europeans from our lands tomorrow, European people would still be spiraling into decay and eventual death. Every day we become fewer in number. We grow older, we grow weaker. In the end, we must return to replacement fertility levels or it will kill us. And that's what he says. That's only page 3 of his manifesto. I've actually got it here. This is a 74-page manifesto that this guy actually wrote. Okay. And the thing is, it's actually quite detailed. It's detailed as to why he went into the mosque to kill all of those people. It's actually quite detailed. And I keep telling people, if you really want to understand who the guy is and why he did it, he actually left a manifesto for you to read. I can read you another page. It says, this is his manifesto. Why did you carry out the attack? To most of all, show the invaders that our lands will never be their lands. Our homelands are our own, and that as long as a white man still lives, they will never conquer our lands and they will never replace our people. Why did you carry out the attack? To take revenge on the invaders for the hundreds of thousands of deaths caused by foreign invaders in European lands throughout history. Listen, people, this guy was an articulate individual. He left you the reason as to why he carried out this attack. People, go to documentcloud.org, okay, and put in New Zealand shooter. You will find his manifesto, okay? You find his manifesto and you need to read it. It's a 74-page manifesto and it's interesting. All I'm going to say is that it's interesting. Now, on the flip side, the way in which he live streamed the mosque, or live streamed the shooting, kind of smell of a computer game. If anybody's played a computer game like, you know, Call of Duty or Halo or I don't know, whatever computer game, it seems as if he thought, or it went into computer game mode. And it seemed, I don't know if that on the flip side, it seems like those kind of games are desensitizing people. Because I actually watched the video, the live stream video of him going into there and just blitzing and killing people. It was crazy. Now, this guy, by definition, okay, I'll read a little bit more, is a supremacist by his own definition. Now, there's a few questions that he's written out for people. On page 7, it says, "What do you want? We must ensure the existence of our people and the future for white children. Was there a particular reason you decided to commit a violent attack? There was a period of time, 2 years prior to the attack, that dramatically changed my views. The period of time was from the beginning of April 2012 to the end of May 2017 to the end of May 2017. It's such a detailed manifesto. Like he wrote this all down before he knew he was going to go and kill these people. Who do you represent? Millions of European and other ethno-nationalist peoples that wish to live in peace amongst their own people, living in their own lands, practicing their own traditions, and deciding the future for their own kind. Are you part of any political groups or movements? I am not a direct member of any organization or group, though I have donated to many nationalist groups and have interacted with more." He says he's alone. He says he's acting alone. He says it. Okay, he said this himself. So if he said this himself, I guess we got to take his word. What I did, oh, hang on, 1 second, fam. Yeah, sorry, family. This guy says he's a lone wolf, okay? And I guess we have to believe him. I guess we have to believe that he is a lone wolf. What I did see today from the mainstream, I actually watched Tommy Robinson's channel. Tommy Robinson was approached by mainstream media today outside his court hearing, and he was asked some questions. And it seemed like they wanted to kind of link him. They wanted to link Tommy Robinson to this guy in New Zealand. Tommy Robinson says, "Have you read his manifesto?" He said to the guy, "Have you read his manifesto?" And the guy was like, "Oh, I read some of it." And he said, "Well, anywhere in that manifesto, did he mention Tommy Robinson?" No, he never mentioned Tommy Robinson. And secondly, he said to you specifically in his manifesto that He's not part of any organization. So this man was a lone wolf. He came to all of his Sammy says Francis Cress Welsing was right. Sammy, I agree. Yeah, so Tommy Robinson wasn't part of him. This man was acting alone. Bulls in the City. Wow, still fighting for Tom Robinson. Sell out. Trolls are in. Yeah, so I'll read you some more. Did the groups you support, hang on. I'll read you, I'll go down, this is page 10. I will go down to, still on page 10. Why did you target those people? They were an obvious, visible, and large group of invaders from a culture with higher fertility rates, higher social trust, and strong, robust traditions that seek to occupy my people's lands and ethnically replace my own people. That's what he's saying. This is what the man's saying in his own manifesto. No one's pulling his strings. For how long did you plan this attack? I began planning this attack roughly 2 years in advance, and an attack at the location in Christchurch 3 months in advance. He's telling you everything in this manifesto. He's literally telling you everything in this manifesto. I'll read some more. Why did you choose New Zealand as a place of attack? New Zealand was not the original choice of the attack. I only arrived to New Zealand to live temporarily whilst I planned and trained. But as soon as I found out New Zealand was a target of rich environment as anywhere else in the West, secondly, an attack in New Zealand would bring attention to the truth of the assault on our civilization, that nowhere in the world was safe. The invaders were in all of our lands, even in the most remotest areas of the world, and that there was nowhere left that was safe and free from mass immigration. His own words. His own words, not my words, not the words of anyone else. This man wrote a 74-page dissertation, manifesto, letting you know every reason why. I'm telling you, if you read this manifesto, it goes to show the level of thought that went into this attack. This man, as you said, was planning for 2 years. I'll read some more. Where will we go? Do you consider it a terrorist attack? By definition, then yes, it is a terrorist attack. But I believe it is a partisan action against an occupying force. Do you feel any remorse for the attack? No. I wish I could have killed more invaders and more traitors as well. What do you say to that? What do you say? His own words. His own words. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. So yeah, he's mentally disturbed, says Empress Divine. Is he? Is he mentally disturbed? It's a great question. Is he any more mentally disturbed? Now, this is my devil's advocate question now. Is he any more mentally disturbed than anyone who plans for war? Because planning for war isn't a mentally disturbed thing. Planning for war is not mentally disturbing. Planning for war, if you feel you're under siege, you plan for war. That's not mentally disturbed. That's just someone who thinks they're at war and is planning for war. British, Americans, Iraqis, Saudis, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, plan for war all the time. Are they all mentally disturbed? Is planning for war being mentally disturbed? No, I don't believe so. And we understand, well, I understand that everyone on this planet believes that they have a legitimate fight for something. Everyone on this planet feels they have a legitimate fight for something. And it's all subjective. So I don't believe he was mentally disturbed. I'm not going to go down that route. I'm not going to go down the route of him being mentally disturbed personally. I just believe that he had a cause and he was very stringent about that cause, and he was very steadfast and headstrong about that cause, and he told you exactly why he's doing it, and he went and done it. He was very cold and calculated, says Shaka G. Well, I guess as somebody who's a killer, you've got to be premeditated and is not disturbed, it's calculated. I don't believe he's mentally disturbed. I just believe he believed that his cause was justified. And this goes back to, this makes me go somewhere now. Now, some people may get hurt by what I'm about to say, but it is what it is. This guy was a supremacist by his own definition, by his own words. Any ideology that has supremacy at its core has the potential to do this. Any ideology. What happened when the Nazis had a supremacist ideology? You saw what happened. What happened when the British had a supremacist ideology? You saw what happened. What happens when Muslims have a supremacist ideology? You see what happens. Anyone who has a supremacist ideology at their core, people should be very wary of. And I don't care who it is. I do not care who it is. I want you to understand me as an individual. You can put Hitler besides the Prophet Muhammad, besides King Leopold of Belgium, besides Cecil Rhodes, besides all of them. All of them. If you have a supremacist ideology, you are a threat to humanity, in my opinion. I don't care which one it is. To be absolute, to be absolutist, and to be hateful of another group of people in your absolutist ideology is a threat to humanity in general. Doesn't matter. I don't care who it is. People say, oh, Sarah Garvey's a black supremacist. Oh, really? Okay. I don't know that I'm plotting, scheming to try and do that stuff, what the New Zealand guy did. I'm not planning to do what Adolf Hitler did. I'm not planning to do what Pol Pot did. I'm not planning to do what Muhammad did. I'm not planning to do what Stalin did. I'm not planning to, I'm not doing any of that. None of it. I don't want supremacist ideology for anyone on this earth. However, what we need to understand as human beings is that supremacist ideologies create an arrogance and an ego in people that eventually lead them to act like Hitler, act like Muhammad, acts like Andre Breivik, what was his name, the guy, acts like this guy, acts like Cecil Rhodes, acts like King Leopold of Belgium. A supremacist ideology leads to that. So the question now becomes, as much as this was an attack, and I feel sorry for the people who lost their lives there, and I feel sorry for the people who, I'm sorry for the family members who lost other family members. Loss of life is loss of life, doesn't matter whose life it is. But I think there's a deeper issue here. I think the deeper issue is supremacy. And what does supremacist ideology lead to? Supremacist ideology inevitably leads to this kind of behavior. And I think we should actually learn from this. And what's interesting is, on another note, the fact that he filmed it, and this is what's very interesting, the fact that it was filmed has people like, really feeling it to the heart. They're really feeling, oh my God, we saw the video, it was crazy. These acts have been going on for thousands of years. But because we now live in an age where it can be filmed and where it can be streamed and where you can access it, there was a war during that. Sorry, there was a song during the Vietnam War. War, who? Yeah. What is it good for? You remember that song? What is war good for? People are like, yeah, yeah. And but the element, the essence of that song was true. It's highlighting what war is. We saw what war is. We saw it firsthand today. We saw a man live streaming, killing people in a mosque. We saw a man live streaming, taking the lives of people. 2 weeks ago, 66 people in Nigeria were killed. 66 Christians were killed by Muslims in Nigeria 2 weeks ago. But it wasn't filmed, wasn't live streamed. In West Papua, right now, the Indonesian government killing and maiming, murdering and committing genocide on West Papuans. It's not filmed. Currently in Yemen, Shias and Sunnis are doing the same thing, killing each other. It's not live streamed. Do you guys know, or just see where I'm going with this? Because Libya, thank you, Thorsi, Libya, same thing going on. It's not live streamed. Only when we now access this by our visual cortexes, right? We say, oh my God, that is crazy. But to tell the truth, this stuff has been going on for thousands of years. And only now you have access to it via the internet do you realize now how fucked up it actually is. So I think there's a bigger issue here, folks. I think there is a bigger issue. People have been maiming and killing people in the name of whatever for a very long time. Doesn't matter what it is. Supremacist ideology, to me, is supremacist ideology. I don't give a damn who you are. You're a white supremacist, you're a Muslim supremacist, if you're a black supremacist, if you're a Chinese supremacist, if you're an atheist supremacist, I don't give a damn who you are as a supremacist. Supremacist ideology leads to this. It leads to this. So I'll leave you with that. Peace, family. Peace.